Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, July 16th, 2021. Today's episode 107 of 4 and 3 Sports Talk. My name is Rahim Escalade. I'm your host, and I am in beautiful downtown Springfield currently on what has started to be a muggy day, but that does not mean that the facts that I have for you today are going to be muggy or cloudy or clammy in any type of way. So what do I have to start? I got a lot of NFL stuff for you. Yesterday I spent hours evaluating tight ends and quarterbacks to bring you guys an accurate list of the top 10 on each and my stance on each individual player. Other than that, I have a couple things in the world of sports and news that's happened. Today, the Major League Baseball resumes its play after the All-Star break. So the baseball games start as early as 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern today. So you don't want to miss that. Other than that, this is just kind of like the gray period where all the guys start to come off their vacations for the NFL and get back to their houses or wherever they stay at in their respective cities, and the grind of the 17-game season now is getting ready to go underway. So without further ado, let's not keep you guys and get straight into the episode. So today I have for you evaluations for these players. We're going to start with the tight ends. And the tight ends are a vital cog in most NFL offenses. Some of them are fast, and some of them have tremendous ability to stretch the field vertically. Some block well, some are slow, some are only meant to block and don't catch that many passes. Either way, we've got those tight ends. I've documented them all, my evaluations on them, and I'm going to give them to you. It goes a little something like this. Now, the first two are by preference. Though I know one of these guys has missed 8 games last season, the other guy didn't. He's still up there as being one of the best in the league. We'll start with the tight ends. Number 1, I have Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs. He just put together one of the best seasons the NFL has ever seen from a tight end. Set single-season records at 105 catches, and 79 of them went for first downs. Dropped one pass, and 597 of his 1,416 yards went after the catch, which means he's a freaking beast after the catch. Travis Kelce is the number 1 tight end on my list. Number 2, George Kittle for the San Francisco 49ers. Despite missing 8 games, his presence was felt league-wide. San Fran fell from 4th to 15th in total offense without him or Jimmy G in the lineup for most of the season. He was on pace for a 90-catch, 1,300-yard season, something that would have mirrored Travis Kelce's in a little bit, but Travis Kelce did not get injured, and he maintained his body, maintaining the number 1 tight end spot on my board. Number 3, Darren Waller from the Las Vegas Raiders. Waller is knocking on the door of the Travis Kelce, George Kittle kind of like breed as far as being an elite number 1 tight end. Not to be left out of the conversation when we're talking about the league's best. In 2020, defensives knew he was the guy and continuously could not stop him. I mean, let's be honest. Who did Las Vegas have as they were in their final year of being the Oakland Raiders? Who do they have for a wide receiver to throw to? Tyrell Williams, maybe for about 3 games. But honestly, who was a wideout for the Oakland Raiders who produced last year? Go ahead, I'll wait. I'll give you a second. All right. Anyway, so yes, Darren Waller succeeded because he is athletically gifted, and another thing that was great that I noticed about him is they knew that he was the only guy on the Raiders offense to worry about, and he still smashed people. Josh Jacobs was off injured last year, so we're not gonna add him into the conversation. Number 4, Mark Andrews for the Baltimore Ravens. Without all-pro wide receivers or an elite vertical passing game to speak of, the Ravens rely on Mark Andrews. He spreads the field with his big catch radius, catching anything thrown his way. Besides for when he's injured, this guy is extremely productive. He's a great fantasy guy. I had him 2 years running. Probably going to hopefully grab him up this year. And Mark Andrews is the man. He is most definitely. T.J. Hawkinson comes in at number 5 for the Detroit Lions. Though he had a low stat line of 67 catches, 723 yards, and 6 touchdowns, 40 of those 67 catches went for first downs. He emerged from a cluster of young tight ends, in my opinion, and more made his mark in the second year than his first, which he gained the Pro Bowl nod as well. He shows the ability to be an offense's focal point and is very productive when healthy. When he's injured, though, this guy is not really effective. Even when he's on the field injured, he's not effective, in my opinion, to say the least. Dallas Goedert, Philadelphia Eagles. Similar to my number 5 guy, he has a very multifaceted and effective game when he's healthy. He's become one of the league's sought-after blockers and is only going to get better when and if the Philadelphia Eagles decide to trade Zach Ertz, which I think they're going to trade him to the Carolina Panthers, which is going to help out Sam Darnold. Just my prediction. Anyway, quickly going on. Number 7, Hunter Henry for the New England Patriots. I understand he has not played a full 16-game season in his entire career. And he's a more dynamic version of Kyle Rudolph of the Minnesota Vikings. He's slow as fuck, but yet still finds ways to get open. He won't be a deep threat by any means, but he's definitely going to guarantee to move the chains and get that first down for sure. Like I said, the knock on him is that he hasn't had a full 16-game season in his entire career. Number 8, Evan Ingram for the New York Giants. These guys should not even be on this list, but for lack of better word, there are no other tight ends to include in the NFC. I'm all in on this guy despite his shitty 2020 campaign. He's somebody I saw from his ability. You can put him in any offense and flex him anywhere because he's so good and he has such great receiving ball skills. That's just talking his physical ability alone. He has great release, but of all of his gifts, there's like little to no production, and that's my question mark on Evan Ingram is why is he not producing? Something I've yet to find out, but I'm sure this season the Giants are gonna call to him more than once or twice, and let's hope that he pulls through. Number 9, Jonnu Smith for the New England Patriots. Gosh darn, when you talk about a versatile tight end, Jonnu Smith is the guy. He will lead the team in reception yards, and he is, in my opinion, one of the most versatile tight ends this league has ever seen. He's great blocking. He has a elite wide receiver ability to stretch the field, especially vertically. And he's anything when you put him in H-back, he also thrives too and normally gets the first down. This guy can do it. He's a big, thick, meaty guy who's going to destroy anybody coming to try to destroy him. And Zach Ertz, just about everything went wrong for him in 2020. Bitter contract negotiations, the freak ankle injury, you name it. In 2018 and 2019, he was one of the game's most productive tight ends. In 2020, he was a far cry from that. He's tired of Philly's bullshit. In a new place, a new fresh start, he'll be more productive, honestly, in my opinion. And that is my evaluation of the top 10 tight ends in the NFL for this season. If you don't agree with that list, please leave something in the comment section or a message, and we'll talk about that. But I believe this list was pretty good. Some notable mentions for this list that didn't make it. Gronk from Tampa Bay, that goes without speaking. Noah Fant from the Denver Broncos. He's a fantasy guy. Got a lot of great points last year. I love his release, and I think he is. I think he's a year or two away from being one of the next best tight ends in this league. Mike Gesicki from the Miami Dolphins, a true matchup problem for linebackers and safeties alike. He's going to be a star this year. He was a star last year, and his numbers are only going to get better this season. Austin Hooper of the Cleveland Browns. He's very solid, makes catches when you need them, and he's going to do the same this year. And finally, my boy, Robert Tonyan. Now, let me tell you folks something. If there was any type of voter fraud last year in this country, it was the fact that Robert Tonyan did not make the Pro Bowl. With over 10 receiving touchdowns, almost 1,000 receiving yards, for a first-year Green Bay tight end to not get into the Pro Bowl is fucking ridiculous. I don't know how else to put it. Anyway, now we get into the meat of this episode, which was... sorry, see where I was? I wanted to see where I was with time. Okay. We have the quarterbacks now. Sorry for that quick adjustment. We're going to go through this quick. I'm going to try to be as quick and not repetitive as I've been before. But the list is the list. This is going to be the list, and that's it. If you have an argument, if you have a problem with it, please leave it in the message section. Please message me. Leave it in the comment section, whatever. Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers, was well overdue, LOL, for a spite season, being that our organization drafted Jordan Love. An all-out attack on NFL defenses it was. Rodgers ran away with the MVP award. 121.5 passer rating, 48 touchdowns to 5 picks. He is the best, and when he decides to return, there will be no drop-off in his game. Go fucking Pack, go. We're going back to the playoffs, and we're going to the Super Bowl this year. Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. He causes problems that you are not ready for as a defensive coordinator, but best bet is to keep him in the pocket and lock down the targets. If he runs, you're done. Tom Brady of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When this motherfucker did last year at the age of 43 was astonishing. It was like, to me, at some point with this team knew they were going to do it all. He's a complete anomaly with his off years in 2018 and 2019, but then to come in 2020 and shit on people and do what he did, go ahead, Tom. I give it to you. Russell Wilson. Let Russ cook movement definitely burned a lot of dinners in Seattle. 13 interceptions for him was the highest and not a pedestrian number. This guy needs protection. His team needs to draft better, especially on the offensive line, and then they can think more about letting Russ cook. Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. Now, if you guys remember me on Facebook all last year, I've always been high on this guy, so none of you guys can talk shit about this evaluation. Last year, honestly, many wouldn't have considered Josh Allen to be a top 10 quarterback. After his massive third season, though I'm sure no one is blind any longer, he's tough to beat, especially when he gets his pre-snap stuff right. He's a rising star, and in 2020, his 4-touchdown performance on Monday Night Football versus the San Francisco 49ers and his 324 yards passing versus the Colts in the playoffs showed to me that this guy is a star. It's here to stay. And that was a huge, huge step as far as growth is concerned. Matthew Stafford of the LA Rams, he's 33 years old, remind you, and in 12 years in Detroit, no playoff wins. He's going to LA with Sean, and that offense will be good. His abilities will shine very brightly. His roller coaster years in Detroit, 0 playoff wins in 12 years, still have left him standing among the game's best. He's coming off a solid 26 touchdown, 10 interception year without top wide receiver Kenny Galladay. So look, I think Stafford is going to be huge in this offense this year. Do not get me wrong. The Rams are great. They were good with what's-his-face, that quarterback Jared Goff, but they're great now with Matty Stafford. Goff's career has gone down the toilet. Quick yawn. Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys, number 7. So around here is where Lamar Jackson should be. Don't get me wrong, guys. Dak is a better quarterback, but Lamar is a better all-around football player. Now, segue into the ankle injury for Dak. The ankle, when he went down in Week 5, Dallas was first in passing yards per game. Without him, they fell to 29th and missed the playoffs. Basically, Dallas is sink or swim without him, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens this year with those Cowboys. They still suck. Lamar Jackson, number 8. I love the leadership in his athleticism and all that, but the facts are facts. Since entering the NFL in 2018, I found that he has thrown for fewer than 200 yards in 22 of his 37 NFL starts. Next closest to Sam Darnold at 19, and you see what his career has been. Number 9, Justin Herbert of the Los Angeles Chargers, and now here's a little bit more of a bright spot. Last year when Justin did grabbed all of our attention. The Offensive Rookie of the Year did that in many ways, albeit his 6'6", 237-pound frame garnered many attention as well. He smashed records for a rookie, including passing touchdowns 31 and completions 396. His 6 wins were solid as he averaged 304 yards per game throughout his entirety as he started from the gate. And number 10, finally on this list, we have Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals. The 2019 Rookie of the Year looked like he was destined to crack this list, and he did, but it was no easy feat. He led the NFL with 14 completions of 40 yards or more, and his 819 yards rushing was only second to Lamar Jackson's. He can throw the fuck out the ball, and the Cardinals' style of play may not be conducive to winning games late in the season, but I believe it's been enough to show consistency of what can work at some point. So therefore, there was episode 107 of 4-3 Sports Talk. I'm your host, Raheem Escalay. Tried to cram all that into one episode, and it looks like we did. I hit the top 10 quarterbacks and tight ends this league has to offer. If there's something I got wrong, it wasn't included in this episode that you wanted, please leave it in the comment section or message me and we'll get it adjusted. Today's Friday, July 16th, 2021. Special shout out to my dad. Happy birthday, old man. I love you, big dog, and we'll talk again soon. I'll see you again, don't worry. I love you all, and I hope you all have a great day. Have a great day, Springfield.